Shalom, shalom. Shalom, family. All praise to the Most High by Hashem Mashiach Yahawashi. I am in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 68th verse. It's going into the children of Israel. All the curses that were brought upon God's chosen people, which identifies who the real children of Israel are today. Watch this. This is the 28th chapter, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, when you go into the word Egypt, you see that it is associated with slavery and bondage. In fact, God calls Egypt the house of bondage in Exodus, the 20th chapter. Let's bring that out. Book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So you see, Egypt is the house of bondage. We want to remember that as we read further on into the book of Deuteronomy. So, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, bondage, again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. Now that's talking about our homeland. We wouldn't see our homeland no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen, slave men, and bondwomen, slave women. And no man shall buy you. So now what people were brought into slavery or bondage? With ships. And once they got to their destination, was sold unto their enemies for slave men and slave women. And no man was able to save them. Now, if you think about all of our leaders, past leaders, tried to redeem us. This is what buy means. It means redeem. They try to redeem us from our current situation, our current captivity. And there was Malcolm X, just to name a few famous ones. Marcus Garvey, you got Martin Luther King. These are a few famous ones. Countless others try to buy us. Nobody was able to save us from our condition, to save us from the curses that the Most High God put on the children of Israel. Those curses had to play out. Watch this. And there you will be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. We were sold all over the world to different places, scattered amongst all these countries and all these other nations. 7 captivities we suffered. What people does that sound like? Does it sound familiar to you? It sounds familiar to me. Watch this. I'm going to go back and go into the same book, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Just go back to 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. Increase of thy kine and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. And the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thy hand unto do, until thou be destroyed. Now, those curses doesn't match Amalek, the small hats. No, it doesn't match Amalek. Those curses don't match no other nations other than American, Negro, Hispanic, Native American, and Seminole Indian, man, woman, and child that are on the earth today. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. So remember, We have to come back as a people, as a nation, to these laws, statutes, and commandments, the way it is written in the Bible, because that's how we receive the kingdom. Until next time, family. Shalom.